Yeah, that to me is a good way of putting it, a mutual unfolding. And I know in England now it's so interesting because when I was a kid, you rarely saw somebody from a completely different race, and yet now you just walk down the street, especially in London, and you'll see 5 minutes walking down the street, you'll see people with many different languages and races, and we're all together. It's like we're all together in the melting pot, and we don't do too bad, really, considering what the situation could be like. But there's so much to learn from each other. And I remember you showed again at your lecture last night, there's some clips of kids just talking about how they felt about life and different situations. And they're in their own way possibly more open than we are as adults, aren't they?
Well, one of the projects that I'm most excited about is what we call worldview literacy, and it's really taking some of the principles we've learned from consciousness transformation research and creating a curriculum for kids K through 12. And a big part of the curriculum is not about telling them what to think, but inviting them to reflect on how they think and where do their ideas come from. How do they form their beliefs? Have they ever changed their beliefs? There's a way in which they can engage what they take for granted in a new, fresh way. And I think that that's the solution, is really allowing young people a sense of empowerment to self-reflect, to be curious about the world, to come from a place not of dogmatic assertion, but playful curiosity. And so I think that that is one of the reasons I feel optimistic about the future. Another thing we see in terms of globalization is that there's a way in which there is a shared imagination. We take things like fiction, we take what's happening in mass media, and you see that there are people in the depths of the Amazon who now have a T-shirt that, is about the Chicago Bulls. And, they don't even know where Chicago is, let alone who the Bulls are. But there's a way in which there's a global consciousness that, whether we like it or not, is connecting us. In that comes a possibility to take some ownership of the content of our imagination and recognize that, as we construct reality, as we define reality, as we engage one another, that we can begin to choose how we story what is and is not possible for us. And it's not as though all things are equal, but as we begin to recognize that reality comes out of these stories and it comes out of our consciousness and our worldviews, there's a power in that allows us to begin to think about a new story and a new way of engaging one another. And so helping young people to own that power within them, to invite them from various cultures and races and ethnicities and religions to dream together, to co-create together. Not that everybody becomes the same, but so that we can respect in the same way a healthy ecosystem is represented by diversity, that we can come to a place of meeting around our differences such that there's great respect and appreciation, in fact celebration of all the ways in which we're different from one another, as well as fundamentally interconnected.
Okay. That's a great place to finish, Marilyn. We have to finish now. Thanks very much for coming along and talking to us on Conscious TV. I'm just going to show your book again, Living Deeply. And thank you everyone for watching Conscious TV, and I hope we see you again soon. Goodbye.